Welcome in 2024 and welcome in Fricashinas. What are you guys out there? You're hitting 93.3, all the fucking big stations out here in Colorado. Give it up to the Fricashinas and give it up to yourself for making it through 2023. So excited to be here on Happy Friday, America. Happy Friday, everybody out there, and thank you for tuning in to this YouTube channel where we also host the Discussion Combustion podcast. My name is Arthur, and I got over my little holiday. I was feeling like a loaf, like a good big loaf of bread, but I'm knocking that off. So hopefully everybody out there is feeling motivated and getting it moving here coming into the new year. I'm super excited. Across the table from me, I couldn't do it without this man with the beautiful burly beard. That's Mr. Batstone.
Happy Friday, America, and happy January. Who's still going strong here? Let's keep it ripping, tater chipping. It's a new year, same awesome YouTube channel, same awesome shows, same awesome discussions. Let's go, Art.
Yeah, we're going to keep it moving, and what we got to start off, like we always do, we got today in history. So the 5th of January, 1776, had to bring this one in. Assembly of New Hampshire adopts the first state constitution. So that's super
my home
cool.
state, 603, baby.
Yep, I knew you'd get a kick out
Old
of that.
school.
I knew you'd get a kick out of that. 1836, Davy Crockett arrives in Nacogdoches, Texas. How do you say that? How would you say it, Kev?
How would I say what?
The Texas.
Nacogdoches?
Nacogdoches, Texas.
Yeah, Nacogdoches.
Yeah, whatever that is. But he went out there to aid in the revolution. 1836.
Wow.
I knew I was going to butcher that. What else we got here? 1896 is what we got next. And the Die Presse, okay, so this is a newspaper that was in Germany. They publicly announced for the first time, this was discovered by Wilhelm Rontgen. He discovers X-rays and the potential that they have to help medical diagnoses and stuff. So that's awesome. They put that on the front page for the first time.
Wow, 1896, huh?
1896, X-rays.
Do we have any nuclear tests this week on this day in history?
So no nuclear tests, unfortunately. I hit the Control F button on the webpage, and I typed in nuclear, and there was only a nuclear deal that happened with Iran.
A couple weeks here of
in
lulls.
2020. However, in 1969, the USSR, they did launch the Ventura 5 rocket, and that was the first successful planet landing ever, and that landed on Venus.
In 69, huh?
Yep, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then one that I have to make sure that I throw out here today, January 5th, 2024, is when you got your ass in gear and actually committed to getting it done. Let's go for the new year.
Yes, let's go for the new year for sure. New Year's resolutions we talked about on DCPC last night. You're not necessarily something you got to, it doesn't have to be January 1 you make the changes. You can go out and own it at any moment. 2024, let's let it rip, tater chip, and let's get the weekend going. That's what we do here at Happy Friday.
Let's get it going right.
So check this out, Art. A lot of Taylor Swift talk this season. She's been at the Kansas City Chiefs. She's dating Travis Kelce. I don't care about any of that. But what I do care about is what Taylor Swift has done in the music world, because you got to tip your hat to her. She's been the most streamed artist the past few years. She just passed Elvis Presley for the most weeks at #1 on the Billboard.
Oh, wow.
To pass the king. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
He held it for that long.
He held it. He was a solid, and it's now 68 weeks strong that she's been ripping, tater, chipping on the Billboard. And so that itself, I think, is worth a nod. And what she's done for the music business, she's only 34 years old. Like, she still has plenty more records to go, crushing it in the music world. So congrats, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, congrats, Taylor Swift. And, yeah, you can't deny her songwriting capability. She's a songwriter for many other artists and, kind of a ghostwriter on some of those, I'm sure, as well.
She's a great guitar player, too.
Yeah, so definitely a talented musician. Regardless of all the following and paparazzi that swarm and obsess over this woman.
She can't go anywhere.
Yeah, so that would be tough. I mean, dude, would you look? She's set, right? Like
she's a billionaire.
She's talented. She's set. But would you want that type of lifestyle?
To be followed around all the time?
Yeah, like you're set, but like someone's always on your ass seeing what you're doing.
I think when you step into the arena and you know that you've gotten that big and you've gotten that successful and you've made that much money and you have that kind of fan base, I think you just have to know that that's what comes with it.
Yeah.
It's hard for these guys to get privacy and not have paparazzis. It's the world we live in now, and that's why I carry a firearm.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we do have to protect ourselves, and that also being cautious, being intuitive of like what kind of environment you're stepping in, right?
Exactly.
So there's always some weird ones out there, but that's definitely cool. Taylor Swift's been taking over the nation in a lot of different ways, but Beavers are also taking over the nation right now.
What's going on with these Beavers?
These Beavers, man, they kept popping up everywhere on the news. I kept seeing Beavers. Beavers are in Tennessee getting caught, like trying to eat some food near a zoo. Cops are catching them. We got Beavers
Tennessee hospital.
Yeah, we got in Arizona, we got beavers gnawing down trees and stuff.
Arizona?
The beavers are out. And actually the place in Arizona where the beavers were, there hasn't really been beaver sightings there before.
It's in Phoenix. Yeah, that's unusual for that part of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no water, there's no dams really for beavers to...
And the beaver was completely unfazed by the crowd that was forming around it. That's just kind of a funny little quote out of that one.
The Phoenix one's probably the most bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty common to see these in some of the wetlands in Tennessee and those parts of the country. But Phoenix, Arizona with beavers is not a place I would expect to see them.
No.
So it shows that these guys are kind of migrating down from, you're going to, once you get up, like Lake Havasu out in the west, Arizona there, and you get up into Prescott and Flagstaff, maybe there's beavers up there. So maybe like they're starting to work their way down, just like we start to see some mountain lions work their way down into Denver neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. It's rare, but it happens. We see some mountain lions make their way down the hill.
Yep, they do. Beavers are just like, they're about this, man. They're about biting the bark, and they're out there doing it. I've heard that beavers can't stand the sound of running water, like moving water.
That's why they're always damming it.
Yeah, and it's like instinctual. Like if they hear running water, they want to make it stop. So it's kind of interesting thinking about the beavers. They're out there biting around. If you do ever encounter a wild beaver out there, then definitely don't handle that on your own. Get the authorities and or animal control involved.
Yes, indubitably. Don't take it upon yourself to take on a beaver. It could gnaw your arm off. Mm-hmm. It's got some powerful teeth. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Let's keep it moving, Art. So in the video game world, we've always talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the reveal of that. We still have a year to go. We'll be talking about that next year when that releases. But what also has been talked about that's going to be releasing this year is the Nintendo Switch 2, which I know a lot of Nintendo gamers have been getting excited about.
Okay. No, I don't know too much about this.
Yep. So they're eyeing, it looks like September maybe for a release, and they're saying the console is going to retail about $400.
Okay.
For the console. Games will run about $70. So some people are like, wow, that's kind of wild, but that's just the world we live in now. Now, it's not from everything I read, Art, and everything that came out in this this video game get together that they have every year to talk about what's upcoming in 2024. The summit, if you will, I guess is what it's called. They're basically saying it's not going to be a huge jump from Switch to Switch 2. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that I haven't really seen the nuts and bolts of what the Switch 2 is going to do, but we obviously know it doesn't really have the graphics processing and ray tracing and things like that we see in PlayStation, right? And the noticeable difference of 60 frames and things like that. However, it is still going to have quicker loading times. The ability to probably process a lot of things much quicker, especially when we talk about games like Zelda. That are a little bit more in depth and kind of push the Switch to the limits. So I'm excited to hear about it. I'm not really a huge Nintendo guy. I mean, I play Smash Brothers with you guys here and there on your Switch, so I'll be curious to see. And we'll have to talk to Schween, our resident expert on Nintendo, what his thoughts are.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really an expert, though, because he is always making excuses about the type of controller that he has and why it's ineffective against the Nintendo brand controllers. That's a whole conversation. I'm excited to see what Switch 2 is. The main thing for me would be storage. Like the one that I have is one of the original ones, and I only have like 2 games that I can have actively downloaded. I have other ones in the library, but then I have to like delete one and
bring it in,
download the other. So it just doesn't hold that much.
Does the current Switch offer an external hard drive?
Yes, I think you
can.
Like
a solid state external?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Because, I mean, that's where a lot of people are having to do now. But I agree with you. More storage is a huge takeaway.
Yeah, that would be good. But what's fun about Nintendo systems is how they're super innovative with it. Like when the Wii U came out and like the Wii, when the Wii first came out.
That was big.
They had all the handheld stuff. Like and even when the Nintendo 64 came out, really unconventional looking controller. So GameCube was kind of fun like that too. So I can't wait to see their next system beyond Switch 2 and see what kind of different innovations Nintendo's trying to make on their technically real next system. Because the Switch 2, I can't consider that like a next system, you know?
Probably not. It's kind of like, I don't know, was there that big of a jump from Xbox to Xbox 360 or, PS4 to PS5? A lot of people saying, yeah, there is big differences as far as storage.
No, but like Xbox One to
Xbox One X
Series X or whatever.
Wasn't much difference.
Yeah, I mean, some of the graphics and stuff, but like the HUD stayed the same. Like a lot of the features, the UX, the user experience inside of the console was the same.
Well, and let's not forget, these companies are money grabs. They're going to release something just like the PSVR 2 is supposed to be coming out for another $600-$700, whatever it is. The next virtual reality for PS. So every video, from Xbox to PlayStation to Nintendo to PC gaming, they're all trying to make money. They're going to put out new better consoles and more games, and it's a business.
Yeah,
it's a massive entertainment industry, of course. And one thing I've always respected about Nintendo is they don't really pride themselves in the graphics the way that PlayStation and Xbox do. They're like, we're about the gameplay experience and the fun.
And they usually release full games too that are like, the game's complete when it came out.
Doesn't need patches.
They're usually a good game, and they have patches that come out, but it's not like this like halfway made game.
Yeah.
And if anything, I do want a PC really bad, but they're so expensive.
Oh, they are.
And oof.
Yeah, they are. I can't justify that, but in any case, Switch 2 is coming out for all the Nintendo fans, so stay tuned for that.
That's cool. I like that. We're going to move it to the Would You Rather segment here, and of course, we appreciate everyone's participation. Jumping in last week on our Twitter and X page, and or just leaving a comment down here on YouTube. So, Kev, you always got those results from last week. What are those looking like?
All right, so the Would You Rather last week, for all the folks who tuned in for the last episode of 2023, was, in a nutshell, New Year's Eve, would you rather go out or stay in?
Classic.
We kept it simple for the poll. So I was a little surprised on the results in this one. 86% are staying in.
Really? I was going to say that they're going out.
No,
I was like, they're going out.
86% are staying in. 14% are going out on our Twitter X poll.
Okay.
So that's and the majority of people I talked to, and even in the comments below, a lot of folks said they're staying in. And, we both said the same thing. So I don't know if it shows that we have an older demographic that like to stay in a little bit, but it just made more sense to me.
I mean, look, you can have just as much fun at home. Like, even without booze, like I did alcohol free for the New Year's, and I had a great time. You can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You can still have a lot of fun. You don't always have to go out. You can have fun at home. So this one is kind of silly, but when I was doing the beta test for this with the people that I know, I was asking this Would You Rather this week. Everyone was kind of like putting a lot of thought and consideration into it. So I actually left it in here. So the Would You Rather for this week was inspired by some of the articles in this show. And that would be, if you had to pick between two animals that you had to be forever, would you rather be a beaver or a coyote?
Well, I mean, they both have tremendous strengths like we just talked about. At least with the beaver, being able to assemble a dam, chop trees down. It's a pretty hands-on animal. It's smart. It can problem solve, right? But it's also highly, it's good prey for the predators, right? It's I wouldn't say it's an easy kill, but it kind of is a layup if you could find that beaver dam and just kind of hold down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking from a coyote's perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So you're doing coyote versus beaver right now.
Essentially, I'm like, which one would be the better of the two overall? Because that's a would you rather. I got to weigh it. I'd rather not be either of these animals. I'd rather be a lion. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go coyote.
You're going with the coyote.
Going with the coyote.
With the scavenger.
It's quick.
Okay.
It's a good hunter. It's going to take the beaver down. It's pretty resilient. It can hold up in cold temperatures. It's not really afraid of a lot of things. It'll take on some adversity. So I'm taking the Yoti.
Taking the Yoti. Okay. I didn't know which way you were going to lean on this.
Wile E. Coyote, baby.
That is a good one. Between the scavenger or the homemaker, basically, is kind of what I'm looking at. I feel like I'm more of like in beaver mode right now. I'm gonna be the beaver. I'm burrowing beaver baby, and it's gonna be a banquet of bark, and it's gonna be great.
Fair.
And that's what I'm going with. I'm going with the beaver. Look, sure, people want my nice fur, but they can't have it because I'm hidden in the den. Okay, I got my little beaver burritos and stuff. You know, I'm just trying to go off on the bees, but no, I'm picking the Beaver. Kev, you're going the Coyote.
Taking the Coyote on these two. Like I said, I'd rather not be either of them, but I'll be the Yote.
Okay, no, I'm going Beaver. What's your choice out there? What are you picking out there? Leave it in the comments,
baby.
Or go ahead and throw it into the X and Twitter.
Yeah, go over to @HappyFryUSA to participate in the poll. It's up for 6 days, so you have between now and next Thursday to vote on that. And that's just a little fun one, Art. You know, some of these would you rathers are fun.
Yeah, some of them are more metaphorical. Some of them are just nonsensical. Well, it's a happy Friday, and we got a random record coming up next. Kev, what you got?
Well, Kev's Random Records. So there was a couple to choose from this week. Shout out to David Rush because he did make the list again. We're not going to cover what he did. Well, he did pop 200 balloons, I believe.
I guess he gets an honorable mention, Mr. Rush. I swear to fucking God if I hear this guy's name.
That's all he does is break records. But this week we're going with somebody different, with an Australian man, actually.
Okay.
He was able to put on 10 pairs of underpants in 13.03 seconds.
Okay.
Which sets the new Guinness Book of World Record, and he took 6 months of practice and training.
That's crazy.
To get the method down right to be able to break the record.
No, that's great. That's crazy.
To get it under what the previous record was, which I wasn't able to find the previous record. I want to say it was somewhere around 14 seconds.
Yeah.
You can scroll down to the show notes down below, click the link, and watch it. He basically is just hopping across what looked to be like a tennis court and just pulling these things on.
But I'm saying it's crazy because he did it for 6 months to practice that technique, and it kind of looks like he could be moving faster, but he's very intentionally moving. You can tell
it's kind of a scripted movement.
Well thought out. It's well thought out.
Well, think about it. Putting on 10 pairs of underpants. I mean, how long does it take you to put on one pair? 3, 4 seconds, 5 seconds?
I've never timed it, but I do want to ask you this. When you put on your socks, do you stand while you're putting your socks on, or do you sit down to put your socks on?
I'm always standing.
You stand to put your socks on?
Yep, because then I throw the boots on.
So you stand, like you're basically... So
1 foot.
You get on 1 foot.
Yeah.
So you balance on each foot once daily.
I have tremendous balance.
That's awesome. I do the same thing, and I was curious. I didn't know if you were doing that.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised that
I don't sit down.
You stand the sock?
I stand to sock.
You're a fellow
sock stander.
Sock stander.
Yeah, and boot putter honor.
And boot putter honor. I'm gonna go with the double C. We'll save that for a later time.
Fair enough. But yeah, so the fact remains that this guy was able to put on 10 pairs of underpants 13 seconds. I mean. He's averaging a pair of underpants every like 1.1, 1.2 seconds.
I mean, based on your previous experience, you're probably pretty good at pulling your underwear up quick.
I'm not sure quite what you're referring to, unless it's the Colfax crapping, which we talked about in Discussion Combustion New Year's edition. But yeah, but see, those I had an advantage though, because those were already, at least I had 2 feet in them. We're
That's
talking
true.
about you got to get your feet in them and up.
That's true. I feel like when he was doing it, he had like, as he was lifting up, he was stepping toward the next pair.
That's the only way to do it that quick.
I believe that's what was going on there.
Yeah, he would yank him, move forward, yank him, move forward. Like they were all lined up.
I wonder if people who are breaking these records, like David Rush and stuff, like, do these people, are they wealthy and like they just have money and resources to make this kind of content?
You can still do that as a side hustle.
You know what? How do you get into the record breaking industry?
Well, that's a good question, but you could do it as a side hustle if he's just working on this, like going to the gym almost like a routine, getting in shape to put on 10 pairs of underpants in 13.03 seconds.
You know, I guess with that one, like you'd go like grab a couple like 3-pounders, like some of the lightest weights that you could find, and you just practice like pulling those up a little bit. You know,
it'd probably be better to practice with real underpants because you're not using the weights during the actual record attempt.
But then it's like it'll be feather light. Like maybe you could flick them up easier, like without.
It's possible.
I wonder if there's a certain, like, you have to get it to a certain waistband, or there has to be rules to it.
There's some rules behind it. You'll see it in the video down below. But either way, that's the random record for this week. So congrats on the underwear putting on. We'll see if that one gets broken. And I'm sure David Rush will be back shortly.
I do like that one. That one's fun. So a little heroic story from our furry friends yet again making an appearance here on Happy Friday America. So this one's out of Oklahoma. Family's cat rescues a small dog from 2 coyotes. That's what kind of inspired it. Beavers taking over the nation. Coyotes attacking little dogs while they're crapping in the backyard. Look, there's a video on this. It's a tiny white dog.
Yeah, you should watch it.
And he's just going to the bathroom out back, and a coyote runs up. This is a quick attack. It's like less than 5 seconds. It's super quick. But there's a black neighborhood cat that had actually befriended this dog and was like a neighborhood friend, and like they were friends for years, and they shared the backyard and always had great times. The cat happened to be hanging out there in the shadows while the dog was using the bathroom. And then when the coyotes came up, the cat like jumped out into the light, and there was 2 coyotes, only one attacked. And then once the cat jumped out, the coyotes got a little, and then the cat ran after these 2 coyotes. Coyotes can kill a cat, but
cat's quick.
It just goes to show you that like when you have that definitive energy, like it could David against Goliath, like a really small cat versus 2 coyotes and scared him off. I just think it's a cool story.
Yeah, it was. And again, recommend folks scroll down and watch the video, because there is a video of this little white dog. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but
kind of look like a Shih Tzu or something.
Yeah, everyone's seen this dog before. And the Shih Tzu was taking a Shih Tzu out in the backyard, and you could just see this. It was a quick attack. He's mid squat, turd hanging out, and this coyote just rails him. The other coyote moves in, and then right at that moment that this, like I said, neighborhood black cat kind of just runs up at him, like very aggressively, just charges at him, and the coyotes pull back, giving the dog enough time to escape.
Yep.
Dog did receive some injuries, though.
It did, yeah. So arm went into a cast for a little bit. They didn't know if they would have to amputate that arm, stitches around the chest area. The arm ended up being fine. The dog, Oakley, she is healthy and happy.
Making a recovery.
And thank you so much for the ferocious feline that chased off those coyotes, those yotes.
Hey, great story there, and which you continued healthy, speedy recovery.
Yes.
Moving on, out in California, we had a World War II era dummy bomb wash up on shore, which is crazy. I mean, think about that time frame and how much shit is out in the ocean is unreal, and the shit that still washes up. I mean, God knows what's out there. You think about the Titanic and all the things that are miles under the ocean. So this thing washes up, and of course, people got alarmed. They're like, this we don't know if this is a legit bomb. So of course they had to alert over there at the Travis Air Force Base Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team. Went out there to take a look at this thing. Pulled it up, realized, hey, this is just a dummy bomb from many, many moons ago, and it's now back in the Air Force and Navy's possession out there in California.
That's crazy, yeah. So from World War II, this thing was just floating around the whole time? Like
apparently, it was just floating around the ocean.
It's just been floating around out there, and no one's seen it for like 70 years. This thing's just been floating around out there. A dummy bomb. What do they do with dummy bombs? Like, what is a dummy bomb? Is it just so you can see how the ordnance fits, like on the planes or whatever is delivering it? Like, what do you think the point of a dummy bomb is?
Probably a couple things. One of them could be training practices, of course. Another could be
like how to load it properly, or
another could be almost like a scarecrow tactic. I mean, if you were in a trench and you saw a grenade, even if it was fake, come flying at you, you think you're going to hang around? No, you're going to get the hell out of there. So it could be used for a couple different things, I think. I don't know specifically what this one was used for, but I think they did the right thing by treating it like a real threat. But pretty crazy. There's a lot of ocean debris washing up.
Yep, it's all out there. And while we're on that subject, big shout out to all the servicemen and women out there who help protect this great nation. And
thank you
and
for your service.
And look out, for all of us. So we're gonna move on to what's going on this weekend. Look, going through the holidays, I'm happy to be getting back to it. So starting off here in Denver, we have the National Western Stock Show. It's a great time. Look, here's the one thing that I have with this is you can go to the stock show and not look like a cowboy. You can go and do that and just dress like yourself, because sometimes I feel like people would like buy a get up and buy like a Western get up and outfit to go to the stock show, even though that's not like, look, I can see how that's fun. Sure, it's fun. You don't need to do that is what I'm saying. You could go as yourself. It's a great time. Go smell the smells, see the animals. It's a lot of fun.
It really is a good time. It's a huge staple here in Denver. And let's not forget kind of the history of the stock show. Denver is what it is now, but back then it used to be one of the biggest cow towns of the West. So folks on the ranches in Wyoming and surrounding areas would drive to Denver to the stock show to purchase some heifers, right? Because they auction off these tremendous cows and heifers and all that, and then it started to become more of like they turned it into a profitable, fun fair almost. You can get a turkey leg, you walk around, you see the cows, you see the things going on. There's almost like an expo a little bit where you can see.
And the rodeo is so fun to watch.
The rodeo is great, of course. That's a tremendous sport. So National Western Sock Show, I want to go this year. I didn't go the past few years.
Okay, I did go last year. It was a blast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go this year. So that's going on here in Denver, Colorado. Highly recommend it. The Eagles, epic band. They already played here in Denver, but they are out in Inglewood, California tomorrow.
Nice.
It's the Long Goodbye Tour. The Eagles are riding off into the sunset. Legendary music. Go check them out.
Yeah, Eagles, man. What? I mean, classics. They got the classics. So, and what we at the West Virginia International Film Festival. That will be a lot of fun. That's happening tomorrow on Saturday at 5 p.m. in Charleston, West Virginia. Definitely check that out. I bet you – I've never been to a film festival.
John Ekstrom loves them.
Yeah, I've never been. And hey, John, I don't know if you're listening to this, but we think about you every week, man. We hope you're doing well, man. We care about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We wouldn't be doing Happy Friday if it wasn't for John Ekstrom. So shout out to him, of course. Yes. And the film festival made me think of him as well. So another thing that John Ekstrom would love is the San Diego Brew Fest.
He would love that.
It's like the Great American Beer Fest here. That. It's the 2024 San Diego Brew Fest. It's going on tomorrow and I think Sunday out there in San Diego near the Hot Sauce Shack, which I've been to many times. Really cool area with the pier. San Diego is such a fun, gorgeous city. I love going out there for a visit. Wouldn't want to live there, but go check out the Brewfest out in Dago, baby.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. San Diego, I agree. That's one of my favorite places I've been in America. Same with like the Carlsbad area, all that, which is gorgeous. Just a little north of there. So beautiful out there. Awesome to be back here for a whole new year of Happy Friday America, man. We're going to keep this thing going, baby.
Absolutely. We're going to keep it ripping, tater, chipping. Fun first episode of 2024, and thanks for everyone that supports this show and Discussion Combustion. It's right here on the YouTube channel, so be sure to mash that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of each. Follow us over there on Instagram and Facebook at Happy Friday USA. Twitter and X, like we talk about, where the polls go up weekly. That's at Happy Fry USA. And if you have a segment idea, you want to share something, promote, whatever, get in touch, you can do that all on those social media outlets as well, but you can send us a direct email at happyfridayamerica@gmail.com if you have an idea or something you just want to talk about. 2024, let's go. Let's keep it ripping, tater chipping. The Fricashinas are about ready to play us out. Enjoy your weekend, America.
It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday. And next up Friday night. Yeah, Friday night's alright. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Fuck yeah, it's Friday. Yeah! Yeah, Friday!